Welcome to the Maryland Mortgage Rate Weekly Mortgage Market Update for the week of September 15th, 2014. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Primary Residential Mortgage, here to give you an update. While last week was not good for Maryland mortgage rates moved higher all week, and that was because the bond market sold off, the stock market sold off on fear that the Feds are going to raise the short-term interest rate much sooner than it was anticipated. They were talking end of 2015. Now we're looking at maybe the beginning to the middle of 2015. So that spooked both the bond and stock market. Bonds sold off. You take a look at the bond chart on the screen, you can see those big red candles all week long. And then we thought we found a level support on Thursday, but then broke beneath that on Friday. So with that in mind, there's much more downside here. So we're going to recommend locking your Maryland mortgage interest rate to start the week if you're closing in the next 30 days, just because there's more downside. Now, if you're not closing for 45, 60 days, you could possibly float, but you better have the stomach for things to get worse first, because we are looking for a recovery in the bond market because it is oversold, but that recovery may not be for the next 3 weeks. So we could see more downside. That means higher interest rates even from here. So if you can't stomach that, lock it in right now. Don't even float. If you're closing in 30 days, lock it in. Now, if we look at the economic news, weekly initial jobless claims came out on Thursday. They came in higher than expected at 315,000 claims, and the previous weeks were revised higher from 302 to 304. So this has reversed the trend of lower jobless claims, and we've broken above the 300,000 mark 2 weeks in a row. So we got to keep an eye on this, because if this is a reversal in the jobless claims, that could be bad news for the labor market. Retail sales for August 2014 came out on Friday, better than expected. 0.6% increase in retail sales, showing consumers were not afraid to open their wallets in August. And then July's numbers were revised higher from 0 flat to 0.3% increase. So that was good news all the way around. So the economy's picking up, consumers are spending money. And then we had another report on consumers. Consumer sentiment came out last week for September 2014, and it was at 84.6, which was an increase from 82.5 for August. So that's a measure of how well the consumers are feeling about the economy. They're feeling good. We're heading into the holiday season. Retail sales are up. Consumer sentiment is up. That's a great sign. And then business inventories were up 0.4% for July. So businesses are stocking up. They stock up only if they think they're going to have a good season. So we could see some good economic news coming out this winter, as a fall, and as we head into the winter. And then the U.S. dollar has been strengthening because the world economies are in the toilet. You got Europe in big trouble, Russia in trouble, Japan in trouble, China in trouble. So all of that has strengthened the U.S. dollar, which has made oil cheaper. And we see that at the pump as the price of gas has come down. So the strengthening dollar has actually helped us in the oil market and the gas prices. But it could hurt some stocks, U.S. stocks to trade overseas. It's going to be more expensive as the dollar goes up in value, so we could see a hit to some of the U.S. stocks because of the increase in the dollar. Now, in the local housing news, Realty Track reported that foreclosure filing for August 24th declined by 9% from a year ago to 117,000. This again shows the real estate market's continuing to improve. So that measure was a measure of bank repossessions, defaults, and auctions. So that number keeps dropping. It's been dropping. It's showing that all this bad housing is moving out of the system, and the current sales are good, strong housing sales. And then also in the housing news, the Veterans Administration, the VA, has updated their guidelines in regards to marriages. They are now recognizing same-sex marriages for VA benefits. What that means is, if you're a same-sex marriage before, you were not allowed to have the non-veteran spouse on the loan because they didn't recognize the same sex. Now they do. You both can go on the loan, but one caveat, your loans will take longer to close because every bank that does a same-sex marriage must send a file right now to VA for them to underwrite as well. So I think they take at least 10 days to underwrite a file after the lender's done underwriting. So add that into your closing time. In the local news, the next first-time homebuyer seminar is coming up in Towson, Maryland, September 27th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Sheraton Baltimore North Hotel right there in Towson on Delaney Road. That is 10 a.m. to noon. And then the next one after that is October 8th in Laurel, Maryland. That's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then the next one in Frederick is October 11th. That is a Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon, and that is at the Hampton Inn. You can register for either one of those 3 seminars by giving us a call in the office at 410-412-3319 or online, www.marylandhomebuyerseminars.com. Now, if you need to get pre-approved or you're looking for a fast, quick close, Primary residential mortgage closes in 21 days. Give us a call, 410-412-3319, or apply online, primaryresidentialmortgage.info. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.